Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about if we just did an absolute bear run speed market and bear market speed run. That's what I meant to say. All right. We have popped directly into this box. This is USDT Dominance. So this is basically a lot of people converting their cryptocurrencies into stable coins. And you can see the last bear market bottomed out about USDT dominance of 9.412%. So we have just blasted directly into this window in terms of percentage. But as you can see, there's also a channel that's drawn on the chart here, and also this has been the bottom, and maybe that means we have to go all the way up to this top about 11%. But this is just, I thought, was quite interesting that we just blasted directly into this window. This is a matter of 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks here, and we have just skyrocketed right into here. Another thing that's kind of interesting is if you take a bars pattern and you go from this low right here, you know, back into the other low here, and you kind of put this on here. And we kind of just match this up right here with that wick that we have. Kind of interesting because this fits almost perfectly. Comes up here, comes down, comes into this wick. That means we have a couple more pushes up into this area. This would also top us out at the top of the channel here. And this would be roughly March, which is coming up real close. This is a month from today. We could have the lowest price possible. Now, if it plays out just like the other 4-year cycles, we'll have a low sometime October of this year. But this one I thought was kind of interesting. Maybe we're just accelerating extremely quickly, and we could, that big wick could be the absolute low. I think that's the most unlikely scenario, that the low that we have just had of 60,000 is the exact low. I think that's unlikely. However, if we do kind of show this moving average down here, let me again look, get a little cleaner chart here, and then we'll go clean. Okay, here we go. This low right here is this moving average that we have kind of bottomed out at in similar markets. You can see we did go a little bit below it over here, but this could potentially be the low. It's unlikely. I think less than a 5 or 10% chance that the low is already in, but it's kind of interesting because this would mean that, one more month and we are into the low of the low. Again, this is just a fractal, so these don't always play out, but it kind of just gives you, a view of what could happen. So this has happened in the past. It could repeat or be something very similar. This could also mean that, what is this? July could be a low. And then, maybe a bear market low again. See, this is a little bit late, I would think, December of this year, but it all depends on what happens with the economy. And that's just an interesting thought I saw here on USDT dominance. Now, I think a little bit better one now is USDT dominance plus USDC dominance. I think this one makes a little bit more sense to look at just because USDC is a lot more popular now than it was, before. We pretty much just had USDT. USDC is fairly new circle, and obviously is gaining a lot of momentum here. So this would kind of be the same thing. So if we take a bars pattern from maybe even we do it from this low, I wonder if this fits here. It does kind of fit. Okay, so we could see something similar to this here, right about there. Actually, that wick fits perfectly in there. This matches, the wick matches. So far to here, that's the same thing. But again, these show extreme acceleration. So this is, again, almost a month from today would be the very low or high of USD D plus C dominance. And then this also is kind of interesting because it's now like August, even, October. So that would, I think, be more plausible. And that means the top would be sometime in 2028 instead of 2029. Be interesting. It's an interesting thought for sure. This is definitely an interesting thought here. So it's kind of interesting to use these because they're kind of like the inverse of the bull market, right? Instead of using like total ES or something like that, total ES is the total market cap minus excluding stable coins. So this is kind of interesting just to look at. This is what could potentially happen. Maybe we're on that path to do something like that. One other thing you can look at when you want to look at log charts is you can kind of see what the other pullbacks were. And we can see kind of what's happened in the past here. So if we go to Bitcoin. And we look at some of the other past bull markets. So you can see here, the first one that I looked at here was the 2017 top. If you take, again, I'm on log chart, and you have to make sure that your fib is also on log. You can see down here. So you drag from the top to the bottom of the market here, and you can see we pulled back to the 382. So that all the way back to $3,000. I bought actually a big chunk of Bitcoin here. I should have bought way more. And then you take this again from the top to the bottom here. Again, this is the bottom right here. This is 2018. And you can see we pulled back to the 0.5. So we started in the 382. We got a bigger pullback this time in terms of like the log retracement of 0.5. So maybe this time we go to the next level, which would be down here in the 34,000 range. So again, we don't have to. These are good targets, right? So again, you can put, you know, I don't know, 20% here if you want, or even 30%, 30%, 40%, or you can do 40%, 30%, 30%, however you want to do it, 33, 33, 33. And then if we hit these targets, you can kind of DCA into the price, because, you know, when we get through some of these levels, there's no guarantee we reach some of these lower levels. You know, it's possible. But like the 0.5, for example, I think is obviously a lot more likely to get hit than the 0.618. Same thing with the 382, way more likely to get hit than the 0.5 than the 618. So it's interesting when you look at some of these charts in log, because you know, when you have such big volatile movements, I think the log scale works a little bit better. And I don't usually use the log scale that much, but it just gives you a little bit different results than if you were not on log. Another thing we can look at is Bitcoin dominance, which another theory I have here, which I've heard a couple other people talk about, is, you know, we're right here in this area coming back down, and then we'll get a big Bitcoin dominance spike when we start getting out of the bear market. You know, altcoins are extremely oversold right now. So again, what if we're something like this, where, you know, we never really got the nice pullback here, and we're gonna have to like scale this a little here, but maybe if we're like doing something like this, you know, maybe something like this where we're coming down here, I'm sorry, Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Even though Bitcoin's dropping, altcoins are not dropping as much, because I think they're just super oversold. And then we have, you know, this goes into a bear market. Again, this is saying like March. Now, again, this is just a fractal, so it doesn't really mean much. You know, maybe we're something like this. But anyways, maybe we get something kind of similar that we did in 2019. And that makes sense, because 2019, we were coming out of quantitative tightening as well, and going into quantitative easing and money printing. So, you know, this is like 2020, lots of money printing, Bitcoin dominance dropped. But this first run up is Bitcoin running up and alts not going as quickly as Bitcoin. And then once we get to the top, there's lots of money printing going on. So there's lots of money circulating around, and then boom, Bitcoin dominance can drop, and altcoins can maybe finally have, you know, their third altcoin season, which we really did not see any of that. As you can see, looking at Bitcoin dominance, we have seen pretty much no altcoin season at all. So maybe we're just waiting for this to happen for the third one. Maybe we skip one cycle and go into this bear market. Altcoins don't quite sell off as much as they did in other bear markets, just because they're already so low, right? We're not coming off of a 2018, you know, altcoin season. We're not coming off a 2021 altcoin season. We're coming kind of like a dud here, just like we did in 2019. And also in 2019, we kind of had a top on, you know, apathy, as Ben Cowan would say, instead of euphoria. So that's kind of another interesting little theory there. So total 3 ES, again, is looking like it's breaking down pretty quickly. But if we do like a total 3 minus USDT minus USDC, again, you know, like Ben Cohen's target was down in this range right here, where we could potentially get down into this 0.26 again. We did wick into it on 1010 liquidation event, which is pretty crazy. I also saw that, what is it? The SEC is looking into Binance for the 1010 liquidation. So that was an interesting little thing I saw on X the other day. But that's what we got going on right now for, you know, USDT Stablecoin Dominance, etc. I think those are a nice charts to watch just because you can kind of gauge where we're at in cycles, you know, flip it to the weekly and kind of see that, you know, maybe we're halfway done with this. Maybe we need to come up to the top of this again. This kind of looks like an interesting chart just because, you know, I mean, technically there is a small chance that we could just get into this box, get rejected, maybe even just sweep the high right here, which would only be a couple percent more from where we got yesterday, last week, sorry, not yesterday. You know, Friday was actually quite good, especially for stuff like crypto stocks. I mean, you see like Soluna holdings here up 35%. We had, you know, Hut up 20%. We had, you know, a lot of these up in the 20-30%. MicroStrategy somehow all the way down to basically $100. I think we got $105. I picked up a nice little bag of MicroStrategy on Friday at $115. I allocated, I sent out a message, like a post on YouTube. So if you want to see those, hit that subscribe button and even notifications if you want. But I'm gonna start posting more on there when I start adding to some of my holdings. I put in, I don't know, 30% for like 30% of what I wanted to put into those assets over the bear market. I should be clear. I put it into MicroStrategy. I put it into IREN, and I put it into Bitfarms, I believe. So I allocated to these because I think overall these are gonna be some good prices. I bought a lot of Bitcoin down at Bitfarms down at like 86 cents. And then unfortunately round trip most of it. I sold a little bit at like maybe $5, but it went all the way up to, you know, 660, which I thought was quite crazy. If we go to, like, I was messing around with some of the log charts for some of these assets. You can see like Bitfarms. It's interesting when you look at it in the log chart because, you know, the pullback was to the 382, then the next pullback was to the 0.5. So if that's the same, maybe we could, oh, this is Bitcoin. How did that happen? Bitfarms, there we go. So I thought I did this on some of these charts, maybe not. Okay, I thought I was messing around with some of these charts here. Maybe it was like Hive or something. Anyways, you can just kind of do some interesting things here. Like IREN, there's not a lot of data, but Bitfarms, there's some decent data. So you can basically, on the log chart, go fib retracement from, you know, the top to the bottom. And we came all the way back down to like this 236. So maybe in this time, if we do it again, oh, is this the right? I got to check. One thing you do when you have to do fib is you have to check that you are on the use log scale. Okay, we are. So we're on log scale. And then again, you know, here we got all the way back down past the 0.236. And then this one, you know, maybe we'll come back down to, instead of the 0.236, maybe we get down to like the 3.82, which would mean maybe we could get a price of like $1.14 or something for Bitfarms. So again, I allocated 30%. I have 60% left, just in case somehow that was the bottom. Again, I think it's not very likely, but it could potentially happen. Litecoin just been kind of hanging out, not really getting the big bounce that a lot of these other ones are getting. You can see Solana had a little bit bigger bounce. Man, things are selling off ever since, what is that, Super Bowl? I mean, it's pretty crazy. If you look at like the 1 hour chart, it's just been kind of rejected at this point here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight down. Let's look at futures, stock futures, S&P 500 futures. Do we have something similar on the 1 hour chart? Do we have some sell-offs? We do. It's not quite as, you know, it's not quite as big right there. So 0.81%. And then if you look over here, we're at, you know, whatever, 420. We're at 420, 4.2%. So we're flirting with the 2021 top again. We just wicked below it on this last candle. So we'll see what happens here in the market. If we look at pre-market SPY, we're down a little bit, but we did have a massive pump right over that Friday. We had this big sell-off Wednesday, Thursday. Friday was a big recovery for a lot of these, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. NASDAQ, I think, what was it? DJI? Oh yeah, DJI made a nice all-time high, just pushed right into that. This one's kind of interesting because some stocks, a lot of stocks look like they're topping, but then the DJI, Dow Jones Industrial Average, which has a lot of like manufacturing stocks and something, I guess that makes sense because manufacturing PMI is up above 50, showing strength. But that's a big daily candle just push into new all-time highs. So it's kind of interesting to see that when other things like SPY kind of looks like it wants to top, honestly. It like almost kind of looks like this area, which kind of scares me a bit. It like kind of looks like this area a little bit. So I hope we don't see something like that. That would be, you know, quite a big drop of, you know, 20%. So for the stock market, that's quite a lot. And another thing that Ben Cohen had said, was that if you take the SPX divided by, where is that? Crypto caps. I think it's like SPX. Yeah, Bitcoin divided by SPX. No, gold. Sorry. Bitcoin. Sorry. Oh my God, I can't talk. Gold and S&P 500. When this is like broken down before, we've seen some big drops in the stock market. So I don't know, just kind of interesting. We'll see what happens. This is breaking down a lot, and we're retesting kind of this area here. We'll see what happens. You know, if we break down against this. Am I in Bitcoin again? I meant to say S&P 500. I'm sorry. Where SPX gold. Do I have that? Oh, this chart. This is the chart I'm looking for. Sorry. Here we go. This is the chart I'm actually looking for. When we break below this level here. So you can see right here. We're kind of breaking below this. And when we've done this historically, you know, there's a lot more data for the SPX and gold than there is for Bitcoin. But you can see when we've broken down here before, it's been pretty bad for the stock market. You've seen some, you know, 20% pullback. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Again, I have an affiliate link below for Bitunix if you want to do any trading. I have one for Coinbase. If you want to just buy spot, Bitunix is great. You can do no KYC, quick sign up, 5 minutes, etc. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy Monday, everyone. See you guys.